All other sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect precious Bodhi, O Mother, sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path, the liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi, all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my liberation and all-knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached by the merit of generosity and other perfections. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all Mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. So on this last day of our Saka Dawa practice program, just to again review and go over the basic structure of this sadhana of Shakyamuni, which His Holiness the Dugong Kyabgon Chesang compiled for our use. First, this practice begins with the recollecting the qualities of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So in recollecting the qualities of Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, first it is meant to inspire us and to educate us on what is Buddha, what is Dharma, and what is Sangha. What is it that we are taking refuge in? What are the qualities of these three objects of refuge? Secondly, not only is it there to induce, to help develop and clarify devotion, inspiration to be inspired by these qualities, and for us to go to Buddha, Dharma, Sangha to seek refuge, but also it's a reference point for us to develop those qualities that we are praising and highlighting here. So it's not enough that these qualities are amazing and they are possessed by Buddha, Dharma, Sangha as objects of refuge out there. We are also to find these objects of refuge within our own minds, within our own reality. And our reality begins with our own minds. And so this is the first part of the practice. Second part of the practice is to come into the presence of the root guru, Buddha Shakyamuni. And so for all of us in this practice, we are to relate to Buddha Shakyamuni as our root, as in our basic, our fundamental teacher, our guru. Then, after having come into the presence of Buddha Shakyamuni, then we offer the sevenfold puja, the sevenfold offering. After the sevenfold offering, then we do the recitation of the Muni mantra, especially keeping in mind the Muni mantra's meaning, how this is a mantra about the obscurations being completely now silenced. Muni, the silent one, the silencing, the quieting down of the obscurations pertaining to the afflictive emotions, the kleshas, and pertaining to the stains that prevent us from seeing everything as it is, seeing the cause and effect aspect of everything. And so first is the emptiness aspect, then the cause and effect aspects of everything, clearing those two obscurations. And so that's the mantra recitation part. After the mantra recitation part, then there is offering of praises. Offering of praises, a brief summary, again, of these, particular to Buddha Shakyamuni. Then is the dissolution. The dissolution part, beginning with identifying completely with the Guru's mind dissolving into our own minds, the Guru's exalted speech dissolving into our speech, the Guru's physical form dissolving into our form, and we become the very embodiment of the Guru. Then in that state of embodying the Guru, we do the Anapanasati meditation. So in that sense, this Anapanasati meditation is a little different or unusual in the sense of maintaining some divine pride, as we would say in secret mantra vocabulary, maintaining some sense of divine pride of being the Buddha, being Buddha Shakyamuni. And from that position, doing the Anapanasati to whatever degree that you know about that practice, you cultivate that. And chiefly, it is to let the object be the inhalation and exhalation. So then we stay and abide in that mindfulness or recollecting inhalation and exhalation. And then finally, the last part is to make aspiration prayers. So these are the major sections of this sadhana. In the language of India, Arya Buddha Anusmriti, homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Thus the Buddha, the transcendent, accomplished conqueror, Tathagata, who has attained suchness, Arhat, who has conquered all foes, is a perfectly and completely awakened Buddha. He is endowed with insight and of reverence, Sugata, who has reached the state of bliss, knower of the world's guide and tamer of beings, unsurpassable one, teacher of gods and humans, Buddha Bhagawan. The Tathagata is in harmony with all merit, does not waste the roots of virtue, fully adorned with patience and the foundation of the treasures of merit. He is ornamented with the excellent minor marks and is the full blossoming of the major marks. His activity is timely and fitting. Seeing him, there is nothing displeasing. He brings true joy to those who have faith. His insight overwhelms all in its splendor. His power are invincible. He is the teacher of all sentient beings, father of all bodhisattvas, sovereign of all the noble ones. He is the guide who leads wandering beings to the city of nirvana. He has measureless wisdom and inconceivable fearlessness. His speech is utterly pure, its tones are melodious. One can never have enough of looking at him. His form is without comparison, unsullied by the realm of desire, quite unsullied by the realm of form, not caught up in the formless realm. He is completely liberated, totally liberated from the aggregates, not possessed with the constituents of ordinary experience. He is in control, has cut through the knots, completely liberated from torment. He is freed from craving. He has crossed over the river, perfected in all the wisdoms. He abides in the wisdom of all the so past, present, and future. He does not dwell in nirvana, but abides in perfect finality. He remains on the level where he sees all sentient beings. All these are the great qualities of the true wisdom of the Tathagatas. In the language of India, Dharma Anusmriti, in English, recollecting the Dharma. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. The sublime Dharma is well spoken. It is pure conduct, virtuous at the beginning, virtuous in the middle, and virtuous at the end. It is excellent in meaning, excellent in words and syllables. It is distinctive, totally complete, utterly pure, completely purifies. The Buddha taught the Dharma perfectly. It brings unerring vision. It's without affliction, it is constant and always timely. It is trustworthy when applied, seeing it fulfills one's purpose. The wise can validate it through their own awareness. The Dharma taught by the Buddha relies entirely on training the mind. It is truly delivering. It causes one to arrive at perfect awakening. It is without contradiction, all embracing, constant. It puts an end to the wandering. In the language of India, Sangha Anusmriti, in English, recollecting the Sangha, homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. As for the noble Sangha, they proceed thoroughly, proceed with awareness, proceed straightforwardly, proceed harmoniously. They are worthy of veneration with palms joined together, worthy of receiving prostrations. They are a glorious field of merit. Offering to them brings great purification. They are an object of generosity. They are in every way the greatest object of generosity. The qualities of the Buddha are inconceivable. The sublime Dharma is also inconceivable. The noble Sangha is inconceivable. And if one has faith in these inconceivables, the karmic ripening will also be inconceivable. May we be born in the realm of complete purity. Om Bhadra Amrita Kundali Hana Hana Hong Pe Om Swabhava Shuddha Sarva Dharma Swabhava Shuddho Hang. From within emptiness, in the center of a protection circle, upon a throne supported by mighty ones and lions, upon a lotus, moon and sun, this seat is a mum syllable, golden in color, transforming into the teacher, king of the Shakya, shining like refined gold, adorned with the 32 major marks and the 80 minor signs. His right hand presses the earth, his left in the gesture of equanimity. His two legs are crossed in Vajra posture, and he wears the three Dharma robes. The color of clouds at sunrise, his radiance is like that of 100,000 suns, and within the pores of his skin are the 1,002 Buddhas of this fortunate eon, appearing yet devoid of intrinsic existence. In all the worlds of the 10 directions reside Tathagatas of the 3 times before each of you, lions among humans. I prostrate joyfully with body, speech, and mind by the power of this aspiration to noble deeds. All conquerors appear vividly in my mind with as many bodies as there are atoms in all lands. I prostrate to all you conquerors. In each atom a Buddhas, numberless as atoms, all in the midst of the heirs of the Buddhas. Thus I conceive of this Dharma Dhatu as completely filled with you. Conquer us in this way with infinite oceans of praise and oceans of diverse melodies. I sing the excellent qualities of all you conquerors and praise all of you gone to bliss with the best flowers and best garlands. Best music, ointments, and excellent parasols, finest lamps, and superior incense. I offer to you, conquerors, with excellent garments and best fragrances, and sandalwood powder heap high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings. Perfectly arranged, I offer to you, conquerors, these vast and unequal offerings. To each and every one of you, conquerors, with the power of conviction and noble deeds, I prostrate and offer to all you conquerors all the harmful deeds that I have done. With my body, speech, and mind under the power of desire, hatred, and ignorance, I confess each and every one of them. I rejoice in all the meritorious deeds of all conquerors in the 10 directions. And the heirs of the Buddha solitary realizes here is still in training and beyond, and all wandering beings, you who are lambs of the worlds of the 10 directions, who have unobstructedly attained Buddhahood through the stages of Bodhi. All you who are my protectors, please turn the unexcelled wheel of Dharma. With palms together I earnestly beseech you who may intend to manifest final nirvana, please remain for as many eons that there are atoms in the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wandering beings. Whatever slight virtue that may have been gathered through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and beseeching, I now dedicate to complete Bodhi. In the heart of the front visualization, the Dharma Lord Munindra is a golden syllable Mum, encircled by the Muni mantra, circling clockwise. From it lights radiate out, making offerings to all the victorious ones and their heirs. They return and strike all of the 6 realms, dispelling their suffering and purifying their karmic obscurations. The lights dissolve into the mantra in the front visualization's heart. Again, light radiates out, infusing the minds with blessings, clearing the 2 obscurations, and swiftly establishing all in the unsurpassable state of Buddhahood. Om Mone Mone Maha Mone Soha. 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 Om Mone Mone. Om Mone Mone Maha Mone Soha. 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 Om Mone Mone. Om Mone Mone Maha Mone Soha. 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 Mone mone maha mone zo 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 mone mone maha mone zo. Om Mani Mani Maha Mani 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 Mani Maha Mani Om 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 Mani Mani Om Mani Mani Maha 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 Mani Om Mani Om Mani Mani Maha 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 Om Mani Mani Maha Mani Om Mani Mani Maha Mani Om Mani 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 Maha Mani Om Mani Mani Maha Mani Om Mani 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 Om Mani Mani Om Mani Mani Maha Mani Om Mani 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 Om Mani Mani Maha 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 Mani Mone mone maha mone soha. When you were born supreme among humans, you paced out 7 steps on this great earth and declared, I am supreme in this world. Homage to you who was wise even then. First you descended from Tushita divine realm, and in the royal home enter your mother's womb. In the grove at Lumbini, O Muni, you were born. To the victorious God of the gods I pay homage. You were tended by 32 nurses at the palace. You spent your youth in sports at the house of the Shakyas. At Kapila Vastu, you took Gopa as your wife. To you who are unequal in the 3 worlds, I pay homage. At the 4 city gates, you were shown the 4 kinds of sorrow, and cut your own hair in front of the Vishuddha Supa. On the banks of the Niranjana, you practice as an ascetic. To you who are free from the faults of the 2 obscurations, I pay homage. At Rajagriha, you tame a rogue elephant. In Vaishali, the monkeys offered you honey. In Magadha, O Muni, you realize Buddhahood. To you, in whom all-knowing wisdom blossom, I pay homage. At Varanasi, you turned the Dharma wheel. At the Jeta Grove, you showed great miracles. In Kushinagara, your wisdom mind passed into Parinirvana. To you, whose mind is like the sky, I pay homage. Through the merit of this brief praise of the deeds of the awakened one, master of the teachings, may the actions of all wandering beings come to equal the acts of the Sugata himself. O Sugata, may I and others have a form, an entourage, a lifespan, a pure realm, and sublime marks of perfection. exactly just like you, through the power of our praising you and this prayer. In whatever lands we dwell, may illness, negativity, poverty, and conflict be quelled, and dharma and auspiciousness increase and spread. May the teacher appear in this world. May the teaching shine like the sun, and the holders of their teachings, master and disciple, spread their teaching and practice, and may all be auspicious for the teachings to endure long into the future. The Lord of the teachings, the Bhagavan, visualize in front, melts into light and dissolves into the mantra circle. The mantra circle dissolves into the letter Mum. The letter Mum dissolves into the point between your eyebrows. The exalted body, speech, and mind of the victorious one, and your own body, speech, and mind become indivisible. Having gone to the wilderness, to the shade of a tree, or to an empty building, sit down, folding legs crosswise, holding body upright, establishing mindfulness to the fore, always mindful, breathe in, mindful, breathe out. Breathing in long, know that you are breathing in long. Breathing out long, know that you are breathing out long. Breathing in short, know you are breathing in short. Breathing out short, know that you are breathing out short. Then train yourself with breathing in, experiencing the entire body, and train yourself with breathing out, experiencing the entire body. And then train yourself with breathing in the calm bodily fabrication, and train yourself so that breathing out you calm bodily fabrication. As you breathe in, think, may all the bodily stresses, may all the bodily anxieties, may all the bodily tenseness be calmed, be pacified. Breathing out, may all of this, all these causes of dis-ease, discomfort, busyness, may they be settled. May they exit and leave the body with the outgoing breath. Then train yourself with, I now breathe in to experience rapture, and I breathe out while experiencing rapture. Now to a more subtle and stable form of this rapture, which here is called happiness. Train yourself with, I breathe in to experience happiness. And likewise, train yourself to breathe out, experiencing happiness. The difference between these two stages of happiness has sometimes been described as almost like if you were wandering in the desert and not having water for a while now, suddenly being reassured that water is just a few hundred steps away. And when you hear that news, the kind of happiness that is in the form of rapture, the excitement. And then finally, getting to water and drinking that water and the satisfaction that comes from drinking that water is the second type, the experiencing of happiness. Where your thirst is quenched and you are satisfied. At this point, bodily fabrication is relatively calmed, at ease. No more so loud and noisy, because you have used breath to pacify, to soothe, to calm down bodily fabrication. And you have also used this mindfulness of breath to tune into, to sensitize yourself into experiencing this rapture and happiness. So now both body and mind is relatively at ease, relatively satisfied. Quiet and stable in this experience of happiness, of pleasure. That is not the usual so-called pleasure and happiness that we get from chasing sense objects and trying to gratify sense desires. Not that kind of ease, not that kind of happiness, but rather an ease and happiness that arises from just being attuned to the natural abilities of body and mind to experience ease if given the chance, to experience happiness if given the chance. One that does not involve getting something from somewhere else, from someone else, but the kind of ease, the kind of state of peace that arises from within oneself. By skillfully working with the process of breathing in and breathing out. Then within this relatively stable and calm and serene body and mind, now step 7 says, train yourself with experiencing mental fabrication as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, notice mental fabrication. And so even though at this point, it seems like body and mind are content, are happy, but we do not stop there. Here the Buddha says, when we have created this supportive, reassuring environment where body and mind are relatively happy, calm, at ease, then bring attention to the subtle mental fabrication. Learn how to be sensitized to even very subtle mental fabrication. For all the states of suffering that we talk about, that we complain about, that we have a hard time with, they are nothing but the aggregation, the coming together of these subtle mental fabrications. And the subtle mental fabrications, unit by unit, moment by moment, start to gather shape, start to come together, start to compound and compound and compound and compound until it turns into what we call dukkha, suffering. And so here we are learning how to detect this growth, detect this cancerous growth even of fabrication, and to see it at its most basic level. So therefore, train yourself with, I will breathe in, sensitive to, experiencing, noticing mental fabrication, and I will train myself with, as I breathe out, I pay attention to, I am sensitized to, I notice mental fabrication. So you can say that now we are deliberately bringing in something that normally we don't want. Normally, naturally, we don't want, we want to keep far away. But that is not how we overcome this problem. Not by ignoring, not by pushing away, but by skillfully learning to see how suffering builds up, how suffering is an aggregation of these subtle moments of mental fabrication. So here we do not fear bringing in an element that might destabilize, that might temporarily disturb the peace and calm that we have cultivated for body and mind. And we do not fear this. We bring our attention to these subtle mental fabrications. In fact, don't be afraid to even see or experience the burdensome nature of mental fabrication. How they quietly but definitely wear us down, burden us, building weight, pushing us down. See all these negative qualities of mental fabrication. Step 7 then lead to step 8 that says, train yourself now with, as I breathe in, I will calm mental fabrication. And as I breathe out, I will calm and pacify mental fabrication. You do that as you breathe in, you release, and you let mental fabrication quiet down, becoming quiet, becoming silent, becoming quiet, becoming silent. Just as the Muni mantra tells us, Muni, Muni, Maha Muni, calming, silencing mental fabrication. With gentleness, without rushing, letting mental fabrication quiet down and die down. Stop feeding it, let it die down, let it quiet down. It's helpful to recall that in this context, we are doing these 8 steps while holding to this experience of ourselves being in the form of Buddha Shakyamuni, embodying the body, speech, and mind of Buddha Shakyamuni. Homage to all Buddhas, homage to the Bodhisattvas who possess the divine vision of seers, and homage to the hearers as well. Homage Homage to Bodhicitta, the heart of awakening that keeps the lower realms at bay, that shows us the way to the higher realms and leads us to a state beyond aging and death. I go before the awakened ones to confess any and all misdeeds that I may have committed under the sway of mind. May all merit occur through the three kinds of actions, become a seed for my omniscience and inexhaustible awakening. The Buddhas are aware and rejoice in any offering made to the awakened ones throughout the Buddha views of the 10 directions, and so do I too rejoice. I hereby confess all negative actions. I hereby rejoice in everything meritorious. I hereby pay homage to all Buddhas. May I attain the supreme wisdom state. I exhort each and every bodhisattva dwelling in the 10 directions and who are on the 10th bodhisattva ground to awaken now to supreme enlightenment, and as they awaken to sublime awakening, may they turn the wheel of Dharma so as to tame the demons and all their hordes and bring benefit to every living being. May the beat of the great drum of Dharma free beings from their suffering for unimaginable billions of eons. May the awakened ones teach Dharma and remain. I beg you, best of humans, look upon us drowning in the mud of desires, bound by the ropes of craving, and in other ways absolutely trapped. May the Buddhas not level criticism against those of impure minds. Instead, may they give love to sentient beings and free them from the ocean of becoming. May I train in the likeness of the perfectly awakened Buddhas of the present, past, and future, and uphold Bodhisattva conduct. May I bring to completion the 6 perfections and lead to the end the 6 classes of beings. May I manifest at last the 6 super knowledges and reach the unsurpassed state of awakening. May I realize the truth of emptiness, in which all is birthless and non-arising, without intrinsic nature, without location, with neither mental process nor substance. Just like the great sage, the Buddha himself, may I realize the truth of selflessness, in which beings do not exist, nor any living things, nor any individual, nor any kind of person. May I practice generosity free from stinginess, without entertaining any notion of substantiality, nor any belief in the self, nor egotistical clinging, so that the benefit may reach all sentient beings. Since material things do not exist concretely, may all my needs be spontaneously met. Since all material things are subject to decay, may I master the perfection of giving with disciplined conduct, completely flawless, disciplined conduct that is perfectly pristine, and disciplined conduct devoid of arrogance. May I complete the perfection of disciplined conduct with absence of anger. In other words, with patience, akin to how the earth, water, and fire elements and the wind element as well dwell not anywhere. May I complete the perfection of patience With persistent application of diligence, may I be ever joyful and free from laziness, and with strength in body and mind, may I complete the perfection of diligence. With illusion like meditative concentration and bravely progressing meditative concentration and vajra like meditative concentration, may I complete the perfection of meditation, acting with the three gates of liberation, with the equality of the three times and the threefold knowledge. May I complete the perfection of wisdom. May I be praised by all Buddhas as I beam with light and splendor, and with the diligence of a bodhisattva, may all my aims be accomplished as I engage in this very conduct. May I, the one known as Maitreya, bring to completion the 6 perfections and reach the 10 bodhisattva levels. Chanju Sem Chorim Puje Ma Ge Banam Ge Gyuje Ge Ba Nyam Pa Me Pa Yam Bo Ne Gom Du So we are finished today, and also the Saka Dawa, 10 days of practice. So next week, Monday and Tuesday, we are going to continue in the study of the Great Digong Teachings to the Assembly, as well as the usual practice that we do right before that, which is anchored on the one section of the 4 sessions Guru Yoga of Jigten Sumgat. So Monday and Tuesday, for sure, I plan to continue with that, with this particular. If you don't have this book, you can still join us. Just listen. If you have the book, then it's easier, as in you can look at the words. Then after that, I am going to be on the road, especially the first 2 weeks of that. I'll be in places where the internet is unreliable a lot of times. So probably we will not meet. And I mentioned that we will meet hopefully on June 1st, but now thinking possibly not June 1st, but the day before that, to somehow do something to commemorate the Mahaparinirvana of Gyopa Jigten Sumgat. So anyway, stay tuned. Stay tuned for some announcement regarding that. And there is a WhatsApp group for Dr. Lai's programs. If you are not part of that, you might want to join if you don't know how to get yourself subscribed into that. Probably someone you know would know. So reach out to them and they will get you on that list. So anyway, thank you so much. Thank you all of you. And I will see you whenever I see you. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.